Hello and welcome back to our life. Feels like an eternity since we've done a playthrough. We are currently doing Derek's epilogue. So, let's get into it. Woke up in the next you woke up the next morning in an unfamiliar but awkwardly comfortable bed. The sheets smelled of an unknown laundry detergent. You slowly observed your surroundings. This was Derek's place, wasn't it? And you were on a schedule. He groaned and rolled over to check the clock on the side table. It was hours before you had to leave, but going back to sleep wasn't happening. You slipped out of bed and casually got yourself ready. Soon you wandered out into the living room. Your mind drifted back to what Derek said last night. It was a heavy admission from him. His lack of confidence to reach out to you. You didn't want to dwell on it. It was a big day for the entire Suarez family, and you didn't want to rain on that parade just because you were aware it used to flood in the past. Derek would bring it up if you wanted to talk about it more, but until then, you would let it lie. The man on your mind was there in the hall. Derek was fully dressed, a gym bag under his arm, and leaning over the kitchen counter with a pen in his hand.
Morning.
Wow, morning, Gally. He stretched backward and sat into a more upright position. I'm heading to the gym. You might have been up yet, so I was going to leave you a note in case you weren't up yet. Oh. You smiled at his consideration. He could have texted you, but probably worried about disturbing you. Taking physical notes was an old habit of his. I'm going to be back at 7:30 if that's alright. Can I go too? I want to walk out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! Grab anything you need and we can go. You excitedly ran back to your room and gathered whatever you thought would be useful. You packed in an extra pack that you'd brought along as part of your luggage. After that, you went down to the complex's gym. You both blacked out and did not skip leg day. His gym was easy to love. While it was basic, it had a useful selection of equipment. You could try a bit of everything. Derek cheered you on with a wide smile. Your heart rate increased and you worked up a decent sweat. After you finished, Derek showed you the drink vending machine and brought you water. Once you recovered, Derek led you back to the apartment. You and Derek took a quick shower and you left the apartment to run your errands before the day could start in earnest. Derek picked the most direct path to the nearby grocery store. Around you, the city bustled as people tried to get to work. Cars lined the streets and people hurried into various buildings. It approximately took 10 minutes to reach the automatic doors of the store and step into air conditioning. Various displays try to sell you on all the Father's Day deals. I see some tomato sauce, some unknown stuff, soap, I would assume, and maybe some bathroom stuff, maybe some pasta or cereal. That is a lot of what I assume is tomato sauce. It could also be jam, but it looks more like tomatoes, if I'm honest. There wasn't much about it. There wasn't much about that set this one apart from the one in your old town. We're probably gonna need a cart. He pulled one out in a smooth movement. It had a slightly squeaky wheel.
Let's get to it.
There, we're ready to go. He leaned over the handle like he was at the start of a kart race, waiting for the shot to go off. So, what rating do you want? That's a good question. At that point of your life, you were a selective eater. I'm pretty sure we started that in I want to say when we were 13. That was something Derek was already aware of, but he couldn't make the entire meal plan for you. We can start cooking at home with some of your meals, though a lot of what we'll eat today will probably still be from my parents' house, or restaurants. I'd say we only need 2 or 3 packs of things.
What do you think?
I'm thinking chicken, sausage, and eggs, but you can get something else. I want to make sure there's plenty of stuff you want to eat. You inspected your surroundings and thought what you wanted. You wanted bacon. You wanted what Derek suggested. That's mostly what I also eat as well. That's the sausage. I don't get that much. Not if we can get bacon. That'll work. Right? Alright. Let's go grab some good veggies to go with that. And some rice or whatever. Let's remember to check the discount rack. Derek snorted. He craned his neck around to look for it.
I'm impressed.
You're a genius.
So?
Oh, what were you thinking of being a gift? I've got to grab a card from Mr. Holm while we're at it. You considered your options. It would need to be something. It would need to be easy to transport. Something that can go bad wouldn't be the best choice. Something that could go bad probably wouldn't be the best choice. He thought about what Derek's dad would appreciate. He went for I want to give the card shark a bag of cards, but I don't know. Well, we'll go with the classic mug choice. Mr. Holden, you imagined what he would enjoy. You selected. See, he's a card shark, but he might already have plenty of cards. I could always say that we gave him cards like almost every other Father's Day. I don't imagine you would give someone who's 42 cologne. I don't think you would want a pair of socks. I can't imagine seeing him wearing a tie. So it's either a mug, a box of chocolates, or a cheese and meat sampling box. I know that he loves a bag of cards, because I did that last time. I'm gonna go with the box of chocolate. Cool! Oh, well, I could also do double mugs. Because then he would have something from us to at least drink out of. And then we can yoink it when he's dead. And give it to Carter. Cool! You began your very purposeful browsing. Derek's speed walked with the cart. He kept things moving, but wasn't rushing you either. It was nearly as leisurely as when you first shopped with him. Neither of you were in a rush and appreciated the company. However, as adults, the atmosphere between you was markedly different. Before you had to investigate the stores, every shelf could hold buried treasure. Before you investigated the store as if every shelf could hold buried treasure. Now, the items took a little attention. And you spent more energy absorbing each other's presence. Grocery shopping was more of a chore and less of an experience. However, chores went bad with Derek. You both debated brands, helped spot elusive items, and encouraged each other to get what you wanted. If one of you hesitated over something, the other would compel the other to treat themselves. Mutual decisions were praised for good taste, and strange selections were jokingly critiqued. It was best to visit the grocery store you had in Asia's. When you checked the discount rack, there was small packets from Bill's bakery, mostly cookies from the day before. It wasn't grand, but it was a reasonable sized treat for two, and say, a whole pie. That's how Derek felt about it. He grabbed one and dropped it in the cart. Knowing him, he planned to share. After getting the goods, you went through the self-checkout to pay for it all. Derek scanned, you bagged until everything was put away and paid for. The first part of the shopping trip was over. Now you had to carry it all back on foot. Derek loaded himself up with supplies eagerly. Do you normally carry your groceries like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather do it this way than drive. Indeed, you saw no struggle from Derek. It occurred to you that this was his second workout today and it wasn't even 9 o'clock yet. He continued to grab the bags without asking to help. It soon became obvious that he intended to carry them all. You heard him snatch a few bags before he could. You wouldn't let him get away with such a scheme. Ah, well, thank you. You retraced the path back to the apartment, crossing through the crowded streets with bundles of groceries. The pace was brisk. The two of you had places to be and people to see. As soon as you returned, Derek dumped the bags on the counter. He turned his head over his shoulder to face you. We can just put the cold stuff in the fridge and leave the rest. We've got to go soon. You placed what you carried on the edge of the counter. You snatched the eggs and opened the nearly empty refrigerator. Where in the fridge?
Whatever works.
Wherever you remember it being. The stage of What a stage of organizational advice. Along with Derek's enthusiasm. Let's do it. With confident determination, the two of you tore through the bags in search of goods that needed to stay chilled. With the team effort, it only took a couple minutes to put the groceries safely away. Nice work, Callie. He offered you a triumphant high five. He just gave his hand a loud smack. Now nothing's stopping us. We can actually eat some of these groceries we've got. I'll agree with that. Given the ticking clock, you had a fast and simple breakfast. Well, it wasn't fancy, it satisfied your appetite, and it would fuel you through the day. When you were done, Derek placed the dough dish in the sink. He gave them a light rinse and wiped his hands.
Right.
We gotta go. The bros are waiting. In short order, you exited the apartment. As you would be staying out longer, Derek was more cautious of leaving his place. Derek double-checked that he locked the door, went to his car. You jumped in the passenger seat and buckled your seatbelt. Derek started the ignition, checked behind him before he easily pulled out of the spot. Clary texted me. He said that he was already at Mom and Dad's place. He's gonna leave his car there, and then you, me, and him, and Nico will all go in mine. It'll be too much of a extra hassle to make Clary drive behind us. He grinned cheekily with a knowing glance. But I did already tell him that you had Debs shotgun. Dating you is already paying off.
You know it.
You know it. I'm more than happy to use my eldest brother's powers. You know it. I'm more than happy to use my eldest brother's powers to benefit my partner. Derek was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. His focus stayed on the road. He boldly navigated through the packed streets, his entire demeanor screaming his familiarity with this drive. The sounds of traffic droned on, making it easy to zone out. You hadn't even noticed that the conversation had completely dropped off until Derek spoke up with a question.
So...
What do you think of the gym? It was super cool walking out with you. My normal gym's better, but that gym doesn't have you. I was about to be insulted on behalf of my gym, but then you had to end like that. The car slid to stop and the traffic light turned red. Derek put the hand on his heart.
Aww.
That's sweet. Sometime I'll have to check out your gym. Then you'll have the best of both worlds. I like that. Do you think Nicholas will be alright? He seemed down yesterday. Derek's positive demeanor flattened in an instant. He shrunk in on himself, a little uncomfortable.
Oh.
You noticed that too. He seemed to not know what to say. Finally driving, his brows pulled together. He stared directly ahead, his thoughts clearly consuming him. It took another moment for him to respond. Nicholas will be happy in the long run. He likes me, and he likes you. Our staying won't change that. It's like when I moved out. But then Harry did too. His first instinct is to resist life moving forward so fast. But he's not gonna hold us back. I think you're right. You understand your little brother really well. Gently, a smile unfolded in Derek's face. I hope so. Derek turned into the same argument from the day before. He'd arrived at the other Suarez household. You both got out of the car and walked up to the door in the complex. It swung open before Derek could even knock. Derek took a step back, not expecting it. Clary grinned from the doorway and welcomed you inside.
Hey!
Hey, bro!
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Clary fist bumped his brother, each of them excited. Hello! Having a good morning? So far. He led you further into the condo. Nicholas was lounging on the couch. He twisted his face to you.
You're here.
You're here. I think that might be the first time I've heard his voice. So soft. Like, listen again.
You're here.
It's so soft. His voice was casual, and his face was politely pleasant. He used to stuff the cushion and get into his feet. Without any particular hurry, he drifted over to the entryway. Of course, we wouldn't have missed it. You noticed Mr. and Mrs. Suarez cleaning up in the kitchen. They must have just finished breakfast themselves. Oh, looks like we have company. Welcome. It's nice to see you two. Derek nodded, and his mom turned to put the jar of strawberry jam back into the refrigerator.
Whoa.
Hello, Derek. Good morning, Kelly. How was the drive? I know the drive was the same as usual, but don't forget about that. Derek lit up with anticipation and beamed.
Congrats.
Happy Father's Day! Yeah, happy Father's Day! Mrs. Suarez patted her husband on the back, and he puffed up, full proud dad mode. Thank you. Oh, my mom said happy Father's Day too. He directed his attention towards you. Thank you again. It's a wonderful day already. Derek observed contently, before glancing over at his brothers. Harry pulled out his phone at some point. Nicholas absent-mindedly fiddled with his hair clips. You two ready to go?
Yeah!
I was born ready. That zealous claim, Nicholas was suddenly all fired up. Harry crossed his arms, decidedly not as energetic. I'm not that level of ready, but I can manage leaving now. Do you need anything, Callie? I don't think so. Alright, then let's go.
Are you sure?
No one needs to go party. Mrs. Suarez poked her head into the conversation, her expression too innocent. All three of her sons slumped their shoulders inside. Yes, Mom.
Yes, Mom.
Yes, Mom. Yes, Mom. Perfect. She clapped her hands together, and the boys relaxed, all showing different degrees of amusement.
Have a good one.
Have fun. We'll see you this evening.
Goodbye.
Goodbay.
Talk to you later.
See you soon. We'll be there. Now, let's roll out. Derek led the way after his brother. Derek led the way after waving to his parents, held the door for you and his brothers. Outside, he unlocked his car and peeped. Harry and Nicholas beelined for the vehicle. Harry initially went to the passenger seat before catching himself and opening the back door. Nicholas burrowed into the back seat without hesitation. You and Derek go into the car, and the seating arrangement that Derek discussed prior. As Derek turned the key in the ignition, it struck you that last time you'd been on an outing with only the four of you was when you had been the boys' babysitter. Now Harry was an actual adult, and Nicholas was never behind him. It was surreal. Thinking about how much that changed over the years. Everyone had grown up. He wondered how Nicholas and Harry felt about hanging out with the kids as equals. He glanced over at the two in the rearview mirror, and noticed Nicholas' gaze on you with an expression you couldn't quite place. Derek cranked up the AC but kept the car in park. He leaned his head back.
What's up?
So, Nico, where am I going? The youngest leaned forward, sticking his head through the gap between the car's front seats. I want to go to the bakery. Derek raised his eyebrows and exchanged a look with Clary. Whoa, that's a surprise. Even more than I had figured. You know, a fan of cakes and cupcakes and all things sugary? Yeah. I thought you outgrew all that. Clary's tone was more teasing than Derek's, dry with mock skepticism. Nicholas rolled his eyes. I did! Most desserts are totally inedible. This place is different. The owner is cool. We should support local businesses. They've got vegan and gluten-free options. And other stuff too. Now, can we go over there? The later it gets, the more stuff will be sold out. Bring it up on your phone. It should be 20 minutes from here. Derek chuckled, but chose not to comment on the defensive explanations. Your wish is my command.
Thanks.
Thank you. Nicholas smiled sweeter than his dessert preferences. Derek brought out his phone, typed out steak on the maps program. Nothing obvious turned up. Nicholas snorted, still poking his head through the front of the car. Try X, not Z.
I gotcha.
Gotcha! Derek corrected his misspellings, then tabbed the first result. It was open, averagely busy, and an estimate of 20 minutes away. Now, buckle up. Nicholas swung himself backwards and settled into his seat. Derek waited for him to click his seatbelt before shifting the car into reverse. Clary had been buckled up since his brother started the car, and you weren't far behind. He wondered if it was normal for Nicholas to be needed a reminder. The directions chimed over the speaker to head east. Derek shook his head. Let me escape the parking lot first. He muttered to the mapping program as it kept giving him unhelpful instructions. Once he reached the road, it finally stopped complaining about Derek's twists and turns. Clary drew up one of his legs and leaned against the car door, getting comfy. If we're going to somewhere with a bakery, we could have gone to the grocery store. Think about the convenience.
No.
Come on, bro. We've got a car now. We can have higher standards than grocery stores' bakery section. Clary laughed back at him, but doubled down.
No.
I would still pick the normal supermarket. It's a classic. Derek grinned as he flicked on his turn signal. Most of his attention was on the stoplight in front of him, but he still took the opportunity to banter.
Sorry.
Sorry, Clary. Kelly and I went to the grocery store today without you. Already? Yeah, I was out to basically everything. Shoot, we missed out then. Clary closed his eyelids tightly and hummed in thought. Remember when Nicholas insisted on using his allowance on a carve and eggs to see if he could cook them on the sidewalk? So he could see if cooking them on the sidewalk worked. Yeah, I also remember the raw egg puddles, eating scrambled eggs for breakfast and dinner. Nicholas shrugged his shoulders, justified but hiding his embarrassment. Inquiring minds had to know, and it was more exciting than getting an apple. Clary's eyes narrowed, openly judging his little brother. I wanted to eat an apple, and I did. My purchase led to zero regret, unlike your science experiment.